Echo goes on the attack. Seriously? Hi, and welcome to our first campsite. I spent 2 days in Martinez, and it was a wonderful time. It was like a reunion. It's been 10 years since I've been to Martinez and seen all my friends, and it was wonderful. I parked in the Martinez Marina parking lot, and everybody came to see me there, and we had wonderful visits. The gals came and brought brunch on Sunday, and Sunday evening we went into the yacht club and watched the 49ers win a game. So, and it was awesome. It was absolutely awesome. Um, so much fun. We did have one little issue, and that was this girl. When we were having brunch, and what I did is I broke out my big mat for, like a porch in front of the bus, and broke out my little portable picnic table and a lawn chair, and then a couple of gals brought lawn chairs, they were thinking. And the dogs were being so good. So good. They were being awesome. And we were totally relaxed. I figured out how to have the dogs not bark at people when they come in the bus. And what it is I bring the dogs outside, and then they meet the people, and they're friendly if they're just meeting someone. And so we did a meet and greet outside the bus, and then they're happy for those people to come in the bus. So I'm figuring at the Tiny Home Festival, we'll be sitting outside, and I can talk and greet the people, and they can greet the dogs, and then I can take them in and the dogs won't do anything naughty. So I was just very proud of these guys. They were doing good at not barking at people and dogs that were walking by. The marina is very busy, and it's a place where people bring their dogs a lot to walk. Well, and there was one of those $100,000, $200,000 beautiful, all the bells and whistles RV, huge, made Norma Jean look tiny. Anyway, they were parked across the parking lot. So I'd say an easy 100 feet. I'm hard at gauging stuff, but it was a long ways away. And while we were eating brunch, the dogs were being so good. They were laying down on the mat and just hanging out. And I had relaxed and had Echo's leash just laying in my lap. And all of a sudden, out of the blue, the leash flew, and Echo darted around the front of the bus. I couldn't see where she was going, and she was running. So I jumped up and darted, and just as I saw, she was attacking two little dogs. They were like little miniature greyhounds, maybe about this tall, really skinny. And the gal in that big motorhome had them on a leash and was getting ready to take them for a walk, and Echo just zoomed over there and she friggin' attacked them. And the little dogs are screaming and Echo's snarling, and the poor owner of those dogs was Shirley, actually is her name. She's trying to beat Echo off, and Echo is just in there, and I'm running as fast as I can. And as soon as I got there and said, Echo, I didn't want to yell her name that way since she's here, but I yelled her name, and she immediately stopped the attack and turned to me and sort of, oh no, I screwed up. And I was just shaking. Shirley was shaking. The little dogs were shaking. And I told her I'm going to put Echo away. I'll be right back. And RJ had followed me when I went, but I didn't care. I knew RJ wouldn't do anything. He followed me there. He followed me back. He was just sort of horrified himself. Neither one of us could believe Echo did that. So I got them back in the bus, and I went back over there, and I was shaking. And I was going, are the dogs okay? I go, I'll follow you to the vet. I was freaking out. Well, and apologizing, and it's like, oh my God. And the dogs weren't hurt. They didn't have a scratch on them. Thank goodness. But that doesn't take away from the fact, hi kids, that doesn't take away from the fact that woman and those dogs were totally terrorized, terrified. I mean, I know that feeling. And there's nothing worse than being responsible for someone else's terror. And I was shaking, and I kept apologizing, and it was terrible. That's all I can say. And, Echo, I was just like, I was distraught. I mean, you can't use fear aggression as an excuse for that. These were little tiny dogs all the way across the parking lot. I do not know why. She must have seen them under the bus because she couldn't see them through the bus. So when she was laying down, she must have saw them, and I don't know what got into her. So obviously, we're going to be watching very closely now. And now, flat out, they're not allowed to bark. They're not allowed to bark at people. I don't even care. One bark, you don't get a treat. One bark, you're done. So, that was the one very rattling thing on Sunday, but everything else was great. Well, this morning, which is Monday, I was getting everything, batten down the hatches. You got to go through and get everything into travel mode again. And Shirley comes knocking on my door. And I am so glad she did. And we talked, and she said, I've been thinking about you. She goes, I just wanted to come over and tell you that we're okay. She goes, the dogs are okay, I'm okay. And because she knew I was so freaked out about it. And and we talked about what happened and what I'm doing with Echo for training. She goes, I'm a trainer, and I came over here to maybe give you some hints, but she said, I can see you're doing the right things, and you've got the right plan to go ahead to keep this from happening again. She was really sweet about it. And she thanked me for being so responsible and so in tune. And I told her, I go, well, I was ready to follow you to the vet. She goes, I know you were. She goes, and that's extraordinary. Most people would just try and slough it off, even run away. And so she really made me feel better about the whole thing, because I was still worrying about, I know the trauma of having your dog attacked and trying to fight the dog off, and it won't stop. So I felt much better. And plus she told me what a cute rig I have. She liked Norma Jean. And so anyway, so that ended well, but Echo is under lock and key. I will not let go of her leash ever. She is stuck on the leash, and I will not let go of the leash. And I explained to Shirley, I go, it was totally my fault. I'm the one that relaxed and didn't have a hold of the leash. It was just laying in my lap. And I go, that's my fault, and that won't happen again. And she left saying, she goes, I'm sure it won't. She goes, I think you have it under control. You're a very responsible dog owner. She goes, and I know how it affected you. She said she thinks it affected me more than it affected her. So, and I had told her, I go, well, I wish you'd had your weapon. And she goes, I'm actually glad I didn't. She goes, because I might have hurt her. So, how lucky am I to run across such good people in the parking lot. So today we're at our first actual official campsite. It's an Elks Lodge campground. If I was a member of the Elks, I'd get it for $25, but I'm paying $30, but I've got power, we've got water, I've got a shower. I'm gonna go take a shower this evening. Woohoo! That way, my next couple of stops are truck stops. So, unless I find something before then. Tonight, what I've settled into doing, I know my overall route, but I am just planning for the next day or 2 days on my route because things just change. Okay, quit looking. Quit looking. I don't even want you looking. No. And once Echo did that, it's made RJ sort of paranoid and alert. That's just a human, and humans are fine. Okay, I want you to quit looking. Echo, quit looking. Come on. So, I've got power again, so I'm topping off the power stations, and I'll be editing this video tonight, and so that we can have it posted tomorrow. So, trying to keep you updated. It is a glorious journey. Now, this is a cute little campground. I'm liking it. I'm outside of Merced. I've actually decided I don't want to drive I-5 all the way down, and even to Bakersfield. It was like, so what I've done is I've cut off and going down 99 and a couple other different little highways, and I'm going to get, when I get to Bakersfield, then I'm going to go east. I'll probably be doing more truck stops than rest areas, because the rest areas here have a time, most of them are 8 hours. I did see one that had a 10-hour limit. And I don't like that because I want to stop. I'm not driving more than, you know, I drove over 4 hours 2 days in a row, and I was glad to stop for 2 days, and it took 2 days really to recoup. 4 hours is a little much, and it's a little much for the dogs. I understand I've turned their world upside down, and they're out of sorts. You know, RJ's having a hard time going to the bathroom on a leash. Better not. Yeah, you better not. Good girl. You didn't actually bark. Good girl. She's thinking about it. She knows. I mean, I've pulled the reins in major on her. And now I'm not putting up with anything. Ow! Don't you paw me like that. Ouch. I mean, wow. Scratch my lip. She is not herself. And yet I know she's still my sweet Echo. She's just out of sorts. This has her not knowing what to do with herself. And I feel like all our training is sort of backslid on this trip. So I know I have to be patient. But I'm telling you, attacking those dogs, that I was so angry with her. But I didn't yell and scream. But she knew it was stern. She was in the doghouse, man. I wasn't happy with her. I didn't. And poor RJ, when she's in trouble, he's sitting around feeling all guilty. No matter how much I tell him he's a good dog. So, cat and dogs on wheels. We are living the dream. I'm just getting more dog training practice in. And I've said this from the beginning. Echo is turning me into a better dog trainer. She has from the beginning. She's made me really think outside the box and figure out what's going on. So, yeah. I'm learning. So anyway, guys, that's about it for this little update. We're doing good. We're traveling in the sun safely, even if it is on horrible roads. You know, and I was hoping when I hit 99, it would turn into like the little 2-road, put through towns, got stoplights and stuff so I could see stuff. But so far, 99 has been like a little mini freeway. but in really bad shape. But even the stuff in Martinez, which is by Walnut, all these ritzy neighborhoods and stuff, the roads are trashed. It wasn't like this 10 years ago when I was driving around here. It's really, the roads have deteriorated. Okay, I gotta get off that. Anyway, guys, I hope everyone is staying safe. I hope winter isn't bombing you too much. And this I know, I'm chasing the sun from here on out. I'm done with winter. I don't want to do winters. I'm mobile. I have the ability to chase the sun and not deal with winter anymore. And that is exciting and freeing. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I'll remember as soon as I turn my phone off. But take care, everyone, and we'll catch you next time. Next time I'm where I can actually hang out and do a video. And oh, I know what I was going to say. I am really sorry about how crappy I am at taking pictures. The whole time with Martinez, I mean the whole plan, I got one picture of me and the girls that were first there with me. But there were so many other people, but it was like, it was so much fun and we were so busy catching up, and then somebody else would show up and I totally didn't take pictures of anybody. I can't believe it. And the one picture I have, I didn't actually take. She was like, no, no, no. Good girl, no barking echo. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. What I have to do is I have to remember to praise them every single time they do anything right, because I need to keep building their confidence. I think that's one of the things. Their confidence has been shaken because of travel and moving all the time. They've just never done this before. So anyway, see ya next time.